We need to tell stories to for our kids. Well, here's a story, kids. John could have told me his motto was based on beating orphans for profit, and I still would have taken the job. My name is Mike, and this is the year of banking dangerously. John was a good guy. He successful businessman, and he'd started something new. His company developed and operated salon suite facilities. These are big, large kind of facilities with around 80 hair professionals doing their own businesses within them. When these professionals get good, they like to strike out on their own, and they'll pay us for good service. My job was simple: manage the finance of John's companies and raise construction financing to build more. I get to call myself a CFO, and since I've been long-term unemployed well before all the cool kids were doing it, the title alone was almost sufficient compensation. The salon John had was generating good cash, and he had a new location targeted. He had income independent of the salon business, so how hard could it possibly be to convince a bank to build more? Did I neglect to mention that it was the fall of 2008? Lehman Brothers hit the fan at the precise moment we started talking to banks. My first meeting with a banker was interrupted not by the text he received about Lehman, but by the immediate and explosive evacuation of his bowels that followed. Our reactions to our project did not improve over time. I worked for months to scrub the finances and present a portrait of robust cash flows, but retail construction was slightly less attractive than a business beating orphans for profit. We had hundreds, maybe thousands of rejections, and I got concerned for my job. John was providing a salary, feeding my kids and my Irish coffee habit, but not getting his financing. He was taking a page from The Princess Bride, muttering at the end of the day, "Good work, I'll most likely kill you in the morning." I turned to the Small Business Administration in a drowning man panic. The SBA, one of the most loathed wings of the bloated nanny state. Republicans hate it because it undermines the almighty free market. Everybody else hates it because it's a bureaucratic nightmare worthy of Terry Gilliam. Slim chance of success, no chance of a speedy process, and no choice. I made our application with the usual battery of data: tax returns, financial statements, and semen sample, and prepared to wait. Unbelievably, it took Sacramento only a week to say yes. They'd fund 40% of the project if we could find a senior lender to take 50%. The bank that actually held our deposits, a national bank with a swell group of guys who told us on no fewer than 6 occasions to go straight to hell, was now interested to participate at this reduced risk profile. Now, buckle up, this is where it gets interesting. Coming up is a slide of the characters of the banking world I discovered. The well-intentioned ones are at the top, the less so. To call this gang reluctant to lend is like calling Bashar al-Assad reluctant to leave Syria, but none were as evil or pernicious as the underwriter. The underwriter had been kept around by vice presidents for their amusement, making them laugh when he complained about the quality of their bundled mortgage securities. But the crisis had crowned him king, and like any high school geek turned millionaire, this sick bastard was enjoying his new power and popularity. The underwriter demanded to see 5 years of tax returns. We weren't old enough to have 5 years, and the deal died. Under stress, our banking rep resigned to become a florist, and a new one was assigned. John offered more equity in the deal, and we were back on. But the underwriter came back and insisted our business would fail in a recession. I countered that our demographics only give up their hairstylists when they can no longer afford lattes. The underwriter killed the deal again anyway, and our latest banking rep quit to join the Peace Corps after I stressed him out, calling him every 10 minutes for 6 weeks. The business banking manager begged me to stop, but bowed to my argument that a strong real estate appraisal and third quarter financials would mitigate risk. He went to the VP Specialized Industries, who I think had him disappear. We never saw that guy again, but the underwriter came back, demanding proof that we could maintain a 1 1/4 debt service ratio. I gave him twice that, but he killed the deal anyway after our appraisal came back a full $1 million short. Sweating over a speakerphone like we were dismantling a bomb, we went back to the SBA to demand that they go to 100% on the appraisal and went back to the underwriter. He demanded collateral. John offered his home. No good. A bastard wanted cash. 75 cents deposited for every dollar lent. I said he was insane, but the maniac wasn't done. He wanted that collateral locked for full 2 years after construction. I called him a feckless bastard. Our ratios are the stuff of bankers' wet dreams. I heard glass shattering as our last banking rep resigned. John agreed to the terms. I yelled that they need a dentist to identify the underwriter's body if the bank even tried going lower than 50% loan to construction. The underwriter howled in defeat. "You're approved! You're approved!" What a world. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what we built. We're in a better place now. We're in a better place now. Forget your binders full of women. We have 80 calling this home and running their own businesses. There's really not a whole lot to get upset about anymore, except this. Coming up is a chart illustrating how much banks made between 2007 and 2010, running a program whereby they get to borrow money virtually free from the Fed and buy risk-free securities while being under obligation to lend it to none of us. We succeeded because we have a business owner of significant resources and courage. What do you think happened to those small businesses that could not go to the lengths that we did? Thank you.